Summary of the Way of the Superior Man. Episode 1. Stop hoping for your woman to change. This opening episode challenges the common notion that a man's fulfillment depends on his partner's evolution. Deida urges the superior man to cease waiting for her to become better or more aligned with his needs. Instead, he must accept her as she is, even in her imperfections, recognizing that her true nature is fluid and ever-changing. By relinquishing the hope of transforming her, he frees himself to focus on his own purpose, clarity, and growth. In doing so, he creates a relationship based on authenticity rather than constant expectation. Episode 2. Live with an open heart. Even if it hurts here, the emphasis is on vulnerability and emotional honesty. A superior man is encouraged to remain fully present in his feelings, even when the intensity of love or pain seems overwhelming. Rather than shutting down or retreating into stoicism, he must lean into his emotional experience. By allowing himself to feel deeply, without fear of hurt, he can access a broader, more expansive love. This openness not only deepens intimacy with his partner, but also fortifies his own inner life, ensuring that he remains true to his inner truth in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Episode 3. Know your edge and don't fake it. In this episode, Deida explains that every man has an edge, the limit of his comfort zone and capacity for growth. A superior man is called to be honest about his limitations rather than masking them with bravado or pretense. He is urged to venture just beyond his current capacity so that he can expand his abilities. By acknowledging and living at the edge of his true potential, he remains authentic and continuously challenges himself. This commitment to honest self-assessment and courageous risk-taking becomes the foundation for personal transformation and deeper connection with life. Episode 4. Always hold to your deepest realization. This episode centers on the importance of anchoring one's life in an unwavering inner truth. The superior man is advised to cultivate and abide by his deepest realizations, the core insights that arise from a connection with the divine or his higher purpose. Rather than letting external circumstances or shifting emotions dictate his path, he must remain rooted in what he truly knows. By consistently aligning his actions, decisions, and relationships with this inner truth, he creates a life of integrity, clarity, and fulfillment that naturally inspires trust and authenticity in all areas of his existence. Episode 5. Never change your mind, just to please a woman. Deida cautions against the tendency of a man to compromise his own inner knowing simply to gain approval or avoid conflict with his partner. When a woman expresses a desire or opinion, a superior man listens sincerely, but then makes decisions based on his deepest wisdom, not on the fluctuating moods of another. This steadfastness is presented as the true mark of masculine integrity. By trusting his own judgment and remaining consistent with his purpose, he not only becomes more attractive and reliable, but also creates a healthier dynamic in which both partners can grow without sacrificing authenticity. Episode 6. Your purpose must come before your relationship. In this key episode, the superior man is reminded that his highest calling, his life's purpose, is paramount. While intimate relationships are important, they are not the sole or final measure of his worth. Prioritizing his mission, career, or spiritual quest ensures that his energy remains vibrant and his contributions meaningful. When his life is centered on a purpose that transcends everyday concerns, he brings an unmistakable clarity and presence into his relationship. This alignment not only enriches his own life, but also provides his partner with a magnetic, fully realized man who is unafraid to live his truth. Episode 7. Lean just beyond your edge. Here, Deida urges the man to continually push himself just past the boundaries of his comfort zone. Growth is found in the tension between what is safe and what challenges him to expand. By leaning into the unknown, risking a bit of discomfort while remaining anchored in his purpose. A man can overcome his fears gradually and transform them into new strengths. This process of constant stretching, done with awareness and compassion for himself, helps him evolve steadily. The superior man learns that his true potential lies not in clinging to ease, but in daring to experience life fully, even if that means facing uncertainty. Please subscribe to Easy Life Studio for weekly, monthly, and yearly updates. Episode 8. Do It for Love. This episode reframes every act and decision as an offering of love. Whether in work, intimacy, or daily tasks, the superior man is encouraged to infuse his actions with passion and generosity. Love becomes the underlying motivation, transforming even mundane activities into sacred expressions of his true self. By acting out of love, rather than obligation or fear, he creates a vibrancy that not only enhances his own life, but also uplifts those around him. His willingness to give fully, even when it costs him, ensures that every moment becomes a chance to express his most genuine, loving, and creative self. Episode 9. Enjoy your friend's criticism. In this episode, feedback from trusted male friends is depicted as a vital tool for growth. The superior man learns to value honest criticism, even when it is hard to hear, because it reveals blind spots and areas in need of development. Rather than defending himself against such critiques, he listens openly, recognizing that the courage to face one's imperfections is a mark of strength. This openness not only improves his personal character, but also deepens the bonds of trust among his peers. In turn, by accepting and acting on sincere feedback, he becomes a more grounded, capable, and inspiring presence in every relationship. Episode 10. Don't use your family as an excuse. Deida challenges the notion that family responsibilities can justify neglecting one's higher purpose. While caring for loved ones is a sacred duty, the man must not let familial obligations become a refuge for avoiding the hard work of pursuing his true calling. A superior man learns to balance family life with his mission, ensuring that he gives his fullest gift in both arenas. By integrating his responsibilities without sacrificing his purpose, he models a life of disciplined love and leadership. In doing so, he demonstrates that authenticity and commitment to growth can coexist with deep care for one's family. Episode 11. Don't get lost in tasks and duties. This episode warns against the trap of becoming overly absorbed in the minutiae of daily life. When a man identifies solely with his chores, work tasks, or social obligations, he risks losing touch with his deeper essence. Deida invites the superior man to periodically step back and reconnect with the larger meaning behind his actions. Instead of being driven by routine alone, he should infuse even ordinary tasks with awareness and a sense of purpose. By doing so, every duty transforms into an opportunity to express his higher self, keeping his focus on the divine flow of life, rather than the distractions of the mundane. Episode 12. Stop hoping for your woman to get easier. In this episode, the superior man is urged to relinquish the expectation that his partner will eventually settle down or become less challenging. Instead of wishing away her complexity, he is encouraged to see her as a dynamic force that offers continual opportunities for growth. The inherent fluctuations of her moods and desires are not burdens, but invitations to deepen intimacy and test his capacity for love. Accepting that a woman's energy is ever-changing allows him to remain agile and resilient. By embracing the full range of her nature, he finds that challenges are the very conditions that sharpen his masculine depth. Episode 13. Women are not liars. Deida dispels the myth that women are inherently deceptive. Rather, he suggests that a woman's truth is expressed through her feelings, which are transient and fluid. The superior man is invited to look beyond literal words and recognize that what may seem like contradiction is simply the natural unfolding of her emotional energy. Instead of trying to fix her communication or forcing it into a rigid, male-defined logic. He should honor her intuitive and poetic mode of expression. In doing so, he deepens the relationship by accepting that truth in the feminine realm is nuanced, ambiguous, and profoundly beautiful. Episode 14. Your attraction to the feminine is inevitable. This episode affirms that sexual and emotional attraction toward the feminine is a natural, inescapable force in a man's life. Deida explains that the pull toward feminine energy, whether in art, nature, or in women, is intrinsic to the masculine being. Rather than denying or suppressing these desires, the superior man should acknowledge them as a wellspring of inspiration and creativity. By embracing his attraction, he can learn to channel this energy constructively, allowing it to inform his creativity, spirituality, and passion for life. In essence, the magnetic pull of the feminine is celebrated as both a gift and a guide. Please subscribe to Easy Life Studio for weekly, monthly, and yearly update. Episode 15. Allow older women their magic. Here, the focus shifts to the unique qualities of mature feminine energy. Older women, with their deep wisdom and refined presence, offer a different kind of magic than youth alone. The superior man is encouraged to honor and be inspired by the depth, resilience, and life-acquired grace that older women embody. Their experience and subtlety in expressing love provide a profound counterbalance to more volatile youthful passion. By recognizing the inherent beauty in every stage of a woman's life, he expands his own capacity for attraction and love, understanding that true feminine magic deepens with age and lived experience. Episode 16. Your excellent track record is meaningless to her. Deida explains that while a man might pride himself on past successes or a history of reliability, such a track record does not automatically win a woman's trust in every moment. The superior man is reminded that each present moment is independent. His partner feels only what is happening now. Past glories or failures are secondary to the authenticity he expresses in the here and now. To truly connect, he must continuously embody his highest self rather than resting on previous achievements. This constant renewal of presence and commitment to his purpose is what sustains deep trust and lasting intimacy. Episode 17. Never allow your desire to become suppressed or depolarized. In this episode, the emphasis is on maintaining the full, vibrant quality of a man's desire. When a man suppresses his innate sexual and creative energy, or allows it to become diffused through routine habits, he diminishes his power to inspire and transform. Deida urges him to remain in touch with the raw intensity of his longing, using it as a driving force for personal growth and for elevating his intimate relationships. By continuously cultivating and channeling this energy, he prevents stagnation and keeps his life charged with passion, creativity, and the capacity to live fully in every moment. Episode 18. Use her attractiveness as a slingshot through appearance. This episode explores how a man can transform the natural allure of a woman into an impetus for his own evolution. Instead of simply admiring her beauty passively, the superior man is encouraged to let her physical presence serve as a catalyst, a slingshot that propels him toward higher levels of creativity and purpose. Her attractiveness becomes not a distraction, but a stimulus for him to overcome his limitations, push beyond his comfort zone, and harness the magnetic energy of the feminine in order to create art, build projects, and live with ever-deepening passion. Episode 19. Ejaculation should be converted or consciously chosen. Here, Deida delves into the intimate realm of sexual energy and its proper use. Rather than automatically expending sexual energy through habitual ejaculation, the superior man is challenged to become mindful of how, when, and why he releases this potent force. He is encouraged to view sexual energy as a resource to be consciously managed, transformed, and reinvested into creative or spiritual pursuits. Through discipline and awareness, he can convert the energy that would normally dissipate into a sustained reservoir for higher purpose, thereby deepening intimacy and fueling his life's work with renewed vibrancy and power. Episode 20. Ejaculate up the spine. In this episode, the focus shifts to a practice of channeling sexual energy upward, rather than allowing it to discharge solely through the genitals. Deida describes a technique in which a man uses his pelvic muscles and controlled breathing to pull the orgasmic energy up his spine, thus invigorating his mind, heart, and entire body. This upward circulation is presented as both a physical and spiritual practice that heightens awareness and prolongs the state of ecstasy. By mastering this technique, the man transforms what would be a fleeting release into a continuous flow of creative and transformative energy that enriches all aspects of his life. Episode 21. Men's and Women's Yoga of Intimacy. This episode is devoted to the art of merging masculine and feminine energies through the practice of intimate yoga. Deida explains that true intimacy is not merely physical, but a dynamic, energetic dance in which each partner remains aware of his or her own essence while being open to the others. The superior man learns to navigate the subtle interplay of sexual, emotional, and spiritual energies using techniques such as conscious breathing, posture, and timing to stay present and connected. In this way, intimacy becomes a sacred practice in which both partners evolve toward greater freedom, depth, and mutual fulfillment. Please subscribe to Easy Life Studio for next episode. Episode 22. You are responsible for the growth in intimacy. Deida emphasizes that the evolution of a relationship rests primarily on the man's shoulders. Rather than expecting his partner to resolve her own inner conflicts or to drive the process of growth, the superior man must actively nurture and expand the quality of intimacy. He is called upon to lead by example, taking responsibility for clearing emotional blockages and inspiring deeper love. By continually investing in his own growth and by gently challenging both himself and his partner, he ensures that the relationship remains vibrant, mutually supportive, and ever open to higher dimensions of emotional and spiritual connection. Episode 23. Insist on practice and growth. Here, the message is clear. Complacency is the enemy of evolution. The superior man must commit to a lifetime of disciplined practice, whether in his career, his relationships, or his inner life. Daily challenges, rituals, and self-examinations become essential tools for maintaining his edge. Rather than settling for mediocrity or temporary fixes, he must pursue continuous growth, even when it demands sacrifice and discomfort. This insistence on practice not only refines his character, but also inspires those around him. Ultimately, his commitment to growth is the foundation upon which a vibrant, purpose-driven life is built. Episode 24. Restore your purpose in solitude. This episode reminds the man that periods of solitude are not lonely voids, but essential opportunities for renewal. By intentionally withdrawing from the distractions of everyday life and spending time in quiet reflection, he can reconnect with his deepest purpose. Solitude allows him to clear away accumulated stress, evaluate his direction, and cultivate the inner strength needed to lead with clarity. Whether through meditation, nature retreats, or simply sitting in silence, this practice recharges his creative and spiritual energies, ensuring that he remains firmly anchored in his mission, even amid life's external demands. Episode 25. Practice dissolving, like the intensity of an orgasm. Deida invites the superior man to learn from the transformative quality of orgasm, that moment when boundaries dissolve and energy flows without inhibition. In this episode, he explains how the practice of dissolving one's habitual tensions can be applied to every area of life. By surrendering fully to the intensity of each moment and allowing the barriers between self and other to melt away, he experiences a state of radical openness and creativity. This continual process of letting go, akin to the deep release of an orgasm, is portrayed as a powerful metaphor and a practical tool for achieving profound spiritual and relational union. Episode 26. Don't get lost in your own thoughts. Here, the focus is on transcending the mind's chatter and habitual preoccupations. A superior man is cautioned against becoming trapped in endless internal dialogue or intellectualization that disconnects him from life's raw immediacy. Instead, he must learn to feel beyond thoughts, cultivating a state of embodied presence in which his awareness is open to the unfolding mystery of the moment. By shifting attention away from constant mental analysis and toward direct experience, he preserves the natural flow of energy, enabling him to respond creatively and lovingly to whatever arises in his relationships and his work. Episode 27. Find a way to serve. This episode emphasizes that true fulfillment comes not from self-absorption, but from using one's gifts to benefit others. The superior man discovers that his deepest satisfaction arises when he channels his energy into acts of service. Whether through creative work, mentorship, or compassionate leadership, serving others becomes a powerful expression of his life's purpose. By dedicating himself to the welfare of the world, he transcends personal limitations and experiences a profound sense of connection. This outward focus not only enriches his own existence, but also elevates the collective energy of those around him. Episode 28. Let your life flow into its unfolding. Deida reminds the man that life is an ever-changing process that must be met with fluidity rather than rigid control. In this episode, he encourages embracing the unpredictable nature of existence, surrendering to the flow of events without clinging to fixed outcomes. By relinquishing the need for total control, the superior man allows creativity, spontaneity, and even serendipity to guide him. This openness to life's unfolding leads to a deeper, more joyful participation in every experience, transforming challenges into opportunities and ensuring that his journey remains as dynamic and inspiring as his inner truth. Please subscribe to Easy Life Studio for next episode. Episode 29. Understand the Feminine Principle. In this episode, the superior man is invited to study the essence of feminine energy in all its complexity. Rather than reducing the feminine to stereotypes or surface qualities, he learns that it is a living, dynamic force, fluid, mysterious, and creative. By truly understanding the nature of the feminine, he can appreciate its role in both intimacy and the wider world. This awareness helps him navigate the often unpredictable moods and desires of his partner, as well as appreciate the beauty in art, nature, and human relationships. Ultimately, recognizing the feminine principle enriches his capacity for love, creativity, and balanced partnership. Episode 30. Embrace the mystery of the feminine. Here, the emphasis is on accepting that the feminine is, by nature, enigmatic and undefinable. A superior man is challenged not to demand fixed answers or complete logical clarity from his partner, but to delight in the mystery. Her shifts in mood, subtle hints, and even apparent contradictions are part of her deep, ever-evolving nature. By learning to celebrate, rather than control or analyze this mystery, he deepens his own sense of wonder and openness. This acceptance enables him to foster a relationship that is flexible, creative, and infused with a sense of awe, a relationship in which love and mystery coexist harmoniously. Episode 31. Your woman's fear is not the problem. Deida explains that a woman's fears or apparent inconsistencies are less a flaw and more an expression of her inner life. The superior man is urged not to see her mood swings or emotional outbursts as personal attacks, but as signals of deeper layers of her being that are calling for love and understanding. Instead of trying to fix these feelings, he must hold space for them with compassion and clarity. In doing so, he not only helps her feel safe and supported, but also learns to discern the underlying messages of her emotional language, allowing both partners to grow in trust and intimacy. Episode 32. She doesn't really want to be number one. This episode dispels the misconception that a woman's ideal is to be her partner's sole focus or priority. Deida suggests that while a woman may crave deep connection, she also needs the freedom to express her own individuality and maintain her own energy. When a man clings too tightly or demands exclusivity in a way that stifles her, he inadvertently diminishes her natural radiance. The superior man learns to balance intimacy with healthy independence, allowing his partner to be both cherished and free. This dynamic nurtures mutual respect and keeps the relationship vibrant, as both partners retain the space to grow as individuals. Episode 33. Your excellent track record is irrelevant to her building. On earlier themes, this episode reiterates that a man's past accomplishments or reputation do not guarantee present-moment connection. A woman experiences him only in the immediacy of their interaction. Therefore, his current state of presence, authenticity, and love is what matters most. Clinging to past glories or failures only distracts him from the ongoing work of being fully present. The superior man must continually renew himself, demonstrating that every moment is an opportunity to express his deepest truth. By doing so, he remains dynamic, responsive, and truly attractive, regardless of his history. Episode 34. She wants to relax in your direction. In this episode, the focus is on the role of masculine decisiveness and stability in allowing a woman to feel safe enough to surrender. A superior man provides a grounding, directional energy that invites his partner to relax and trust him implicitly. When he consistently acts from his inner clarity, making choices, taking charge, and remaining steadfast, she feels secure in his presence. This does not mean domination, but rather an assurance that he is anchored in his purpose. His reliability in pointing the way helps her release her own tensions and opens the door to deeper intimacy and mutual growth. Episode 35. You are always searching for freedom. Deida reveals that the fundamental masculine drive is the quest for freedom, from limitation, from constraint, and from the fear of death. This search is manifest in many arenas, whether in physical challenges, creative endeavors, or intimate encounters. The superior man's journey is one of constant movement toward a state of unbounded possibility. Rather than clinging to comfort or security, he is compelled to break through his barriers, even if that means confronting his deepest fears. In embracing this perpetual quest, he transforms every challenge into an opportunity to expand, ensuring that his life remains vibrant, daring, and ever open to new horizons. Please subscribe to Easy Life Studio for next episode. Episode 36. Own Your Darkest Desires. This episode confronts the taboo of the dark side of masculine energy. Deida urges the man not to deny or repress his most primal passions, including those that might seem dangerous or forbidden. By owning these desires and channeling them with love and discipline, he transforms them into a powerful creative force. The superior man learns that the energy behind anger, aggression, and even destructive impulses can be redirected into acts of passionate creation and deep intimacy. Embracing his shadow self, without being overwhelmed by it, allows him to integrate all aspects of his nature and emerge as a more whole, fearless being. Episode 37. She wants the killer in you. Here the text explores the paradox that while a woman does not literally desire violence, she is deeply attracted to a man who embodies a fearless, decisive, even killer spirit. This is not about brutality, but about the capacity to confront and overcome challenges, both external and internal, with unwavering resolve. The superior man demonstrates that he can stand strong in the face of danger or emotional upheaval. His ability to kill his doubts and tame his fears inspires trust and passion in his partner. In this way, his boldness becomes a magnet for her surrender and an essential ingredient in sustaining intense intimacy. Episode 38. You must match her energy with your consciousness. Deida teaches that true intimacy requires a man to meet a woman at the level of her energy, and then to elevate that energy through his own conscious presence. When she radiates a powerful mix of passion, vulnerability, and mystery, he must be equally alive, responsive, and clear. This matching is not about imitation, but about a deep resonance between masculine and feminine forces. By cultivating awareness, humor, and bold action, he creates a dynamic exchange that nourishes both partners. The superior man learns that only by aligning his consciousness with her energy can he unlock the full potential of love and creative expression. Episode 39. Use her attractiveness as a slingshot through appearance. Revisiting the theme of physical allure, this episode reiterates that a woman's beauty can serve as a powerful impetus for the man's own evolution. Rather than simply admiring her surface qualities, he is encouraged to let her form inspire him to transcend his limitations. Her appearance becomes a catalyst, a slingshot that hurls him toward greater creativity, discipline, and passion. By harnessing this energy, he transforms everyday attraction into a source of motivation that energizes his work, his relationships, and his spiritual life. In doing so, he demonstrates that beauty is not an end in itself, but a means to unlock deeper truths. Episode 40. Never force the feminine to make decisions. In this episode, Deida advises that a superior man must take responsibility for direction rather than expecting his partner to decide everything. The feminine naturally expresses itself through fluidity and emotional nuance, so placing the burden of decision-making on her disrupts the natural polarity. Instead, he should offer a clear, loving choice that respects her inner wisdom while asserting his own guidance. This balanced approach prevents the common dynamic in which a woman's indecision or shifting moods become a source of friction. By taking the lead, he preserves the energetic dance between firmness and receptivity that is essential for a thriving relationship. Episode 41. Turn your lust into gifts. Deida encourages the transformation of raw sexual desire into a creative, life-affirming force. Rather than letting lust remain a self-focused urge, the superior man is challenged to redirect that energy outward as a gift to the world and to his partner. This conversion involves embracing the full intensity of his arousal and then channeling it into art, work, or acts of deep intimacy. By doing so, he moves beyond the mere gratification of his senses to a state where passion becomes a wellspring for creativity and spiritual growth. In this way, every surge of desire is an opportunity to manifest his highest self. Episode 42. Never allow your desire to become suppressed or depolarized. Reinforcing earlier themes, this episode warns that if a man habitually denies or dulls his natural longing, he risks losing touch with a vital part of his essence. Suppression of desire leads to a flattening of his energy and a disconnection from life's creative currents. The superior man must nurture his sexual and creative impulses by keeping them alive, vivid, and in a state of healthy tension. This dynamic polarity is what drives both personal growth and passionate intimacy. By ensuring that his desire remains active and properly channeled, he safeguards his ability to inspire, create, and experience life with full intensity. Please subscribe to Easy Life Studio for next episode. Episode 43. Use her attractiveness as a slingshot through appearance. Revisited. Returning to the theme of physical allure, this episode deepens the exploration of how a man can actively use a woman's external beauty as an inspirational force. He is urged not to become complacent in admiration, but to let that visual energy spur him into creative and spiritual breakthroughs. By letting her appearance sling him beyond the ordinary, he transforms what might be a distraction into an impetus for self-transcendence. In doing so, he learns to see beauty not simply as something to be consumed, but as a vibrant, living energy that, when harnessed with intent, enriches his purpose and vitality. Episode 44. Ejaculation should be converted or consciously chosen. Revisited. This episode revisits the sacred treatment of sexual energy, urging the man to adopt a mindful, deliberate approach to release. Rather than succumbing to habitual ejaculation, which dissipates vital energy, he is taught to choose when and how to release, based on his awareness and purpose. This conscious choice transforms sexual climax into an act of creative alchemy. The practice not only deepens intimacy with his partner, but also serves as a metaphor for how every moment of release can be transformed into an opportunity for higher expression. Through this discipline, the man learns to preserve and circulate his life force for sustained joy and achievement. Episode 45. Ejaculate up the spine. Taking the practice a step further, Deida introduces a technique for redirecting orgasmic energy upward along the spine. By engaging the pelvic floor and synchronizing breath with muscle control, the man can lift the energy of orgasm into his central nervous system. This upward flow revitalizes the brain, heart, and entire body, turning what is usually a dissipative act into a rejuvenating, transformative experience. The practice symbolizes the integration of physical and spiritual energy and becomes a powerful tool for sustaining high levels of vitality, creativity, and deep felt connection with both his inner self and his intimate partner. Episode 46. Men's and Women's Yoga of Intimacy. This episode frames intimacy as a form of yoga, a disciplined practice of merging energies. The superior man learns that the art of intimate union involves mindful movement, breath, and presence shared between partners. Just as a yoga practitioner cultivates balance, flexibility, and awareness through physical postures, so too must he engage in the dance of masculine and feminine energies. By treating every moment of intimacy as a sacred practice, he can dissolve barriers, harmonize differences, and create a space where both partners are free to express their deepest truths. This practice is both an art and a spiritual discipline. Episode 47. You are responsible for the growth in intimacy. Revisited. Once again, the book stresses that the evolution of one's intimate life rests largely on the man's willingness to lead and innovate. In this episode, the superior man is called to actively cultivate an atmosphere of continuous growth in his relationship. He must be willing to experiment, to take risks, and to provide the loving challenge that encourages both partners to expand beyond their current limitations. By shouldering this responsibility, he ensures that intimacy remains dynamic and transformative rather than stagnant. His leadership in this arena becomes a living testament to his commitment to personal and relational evolution. Please subscribe to Easy Life Studio for next episode. Episode 48. Insist on practice and growth. Revisited. Deida reaffirms that constant, dedicated practice is non-negotiable for the superior man. Whether it's through physical challenges, creative pursuits, or daily relationship rituals, every facet of life must be approached as an opportunity to evolve. This insistence on continuous improvement, even in the face of setbacks or fatigue, is what distinguishes a life lived in full passion from one mired in mediocrity. By holding himself and his partner to high standards of commitment and authenticity, he creates a relationship and a life that are ever expanding, vibrant, and in tune with the deepest callings of his soul. Episode 49. Restore your purpose in solitude. Revisited. Revisiting the theme of solitary renewal, this episode reinforces the idea that time alone is not loneliness, but an essential period for reconnecting with one's core purpose. The superior man is urged to carve out regular intervals of uninterrupted solitude, free from distractions and external demands, to reflect on his journey, recalibrate his energies, and renew his commitment to his higher mission. This disciplined practice of solitude enhances his clarity, recharges his creative reservoirs, and ensures that he remains a potent force for love and inspiration when he re-enters the world of relationships and work. Episode 50. Practice dissolving. Like the intensity of an orgasm. Revisited. Here, the superior man is reminded that life's ultimate expression is found in the art of complete surrender. By practicing the art of dissolving into each moment, much as an orgasm dissolves the boundaries between self and other. He learns to let go of ego, fear, and attachment. This process of deep surrender is not a loss, but a gain, as it opens him to the boundless flow of creative and spiritual energy. Through regular practice, he learns to harness moments of extreme vulnerability and intensity, transforming them into lasting states of joy, clarity, and union with the divine pulse of life. Episode 51. Your excellent track record is meaningless to her, revisited. In the final episode, Deida circles back to the idea that a man's past achievements or failures do not secure present intimacy. What matters most is the energy he brings into the now, his ability to be fully present, courageous, and loving in each moment. The superior man is challenged to let go of any reliance on past validation and instead continuously embody his highest self. This fresh, ever-renewed presence is what truly captivates and supports his partner. By committing to constant self-renewal and deep, conscious engagement, he creates a relationship that is as dynamic, unpredictable, and alive as life itself. Each episode of The Way of the Superior Man calls on the reader to embrace a fuller, more courageous way of being, one that integrates purpose, passion, discipline, and love into every facet of life. Together, these 51 episodes form a blueprint for a life lived with integrity, presence, and boundless creativity in both personal relationships and in one's broader life mission. Please subscribe to Easy Life Studio for next episode.